Maya had always been the target of cruel jokes in her wealthy family. At 23, she endured constant ridicule about her weight from her stepmother and stepsisters, who saw her as nothing more than a burden and an embarrassment to their prestigious name. When her father passed away, leaving her at the mercy of her stepfamily, they devised what they thought was the perfect punishment. They arranged her marriage to Thomas, a simple farmer from a remote village, someone they believed was dirt poor and barely surviving. Her stepmother smiled wickedly as she announced the arrangement, expecting Maya to beg and plead. But Maya simply accepted her fate with quiet dignity, preferring honest poverty over luxurious cruelty. On her wedding day, there were no celebrations, no well-wishers, just a hurried ceremony and a cold goodbye, as she was sent away to what her family assumed would be a life of hardship and regret. Thomas welcomed Maya with a gentle smile that reached his eyes, something she had rarely seen directed at her before. His small cottage was modest but clean, and he treated her with a kindness that felt foreign and overwhelming. What Maya didn't know was that Thomas was far from poor. He owned thousands of acres of fertile farmland stretching beyond what the eye could see, along with successful agricultural businesses that supplied crops to entire regions. He lived simply by choice, believing that true wealth lay not in displaying riches but in living with purpose and contentment. He had agreed to marry Maya, not out of need for a dowry or social climbing, but because when he saw her photograph, he saw sadness in her eyes that mirrored his own loneliness, and he wanted to offer her a safe haven. As days turned into weeks, Thomas never once mentioned her weight or appearance. Instead, he asked about her dreams, her favorite books, her thoughts on the world around them. He cooked nutritious meals and invited her to walk with him through his vast fields at sunset, never rushing her, always matching her pace. Slowly, Maya began to heal from years of emotional wounds. Thomas showed her the extent of his land, his warehouses, his business operations, not to impress her, but to include her in his world, asking for her opinions and genuinely listening to her ideas. He told her that he had been searching not for a perfect wife by society's standards, but for a genuine heart, and he had found it in her. Maya discovered that love wasn't about meeting someone else's expectations or fitting into a certain mold. It was about being cherished for who you truly are. Under Thomas's care and unconditional acceptance, she blossomed not just physically as she became healthier through joyful movement and nourishing food, but emotionally and spiritually as she rediscovered her worth. Her stepfamily, who had hoped to hear tales of her misery, were shocked when they learned she had married one of the wealthiest landowners in the region, a man who treated her like the precious treasure they had failed to recognize. Maya finally understood that sometimes what the world sees as punishment is actually providence leading you exactly where you belong, to someone who will love you like no one ever did. If this story touched your heart, please like, share, and subscribe to Kindness Voice for more inspiring stories that remind us of the power of love, acceptance, and second chances. Your support helps us spread positivity and hope to more people around the world.